19 people were sent to hospitals after what is described as an intentional gas incident at the Midwest FurFest happened. This is, of course, a furry convention, and it seems that an intentional chlorine gas attack was directed at people attending this convention. Maybe you don't agree with furries. You don't try to poison them with chlorine.
Yeah.
That's a little messed up.
Look, conventions are supposed to be a place, like, it's not my thing, but it's supposed to be a place where people can go and celebrate the thing that they're into.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it's Star Wars or dressing up in animal costumes, whatever it is, like, that's the place you're supposed to be safe.
That's the safe place. That's
Yeah.
where you enjoy and you meet with people who are like you. And, you know, it's really, it almost seems like a hate attack.
It's clearly something that was set off in this hotel. It caused an evacuation.
Yeah, that's not a prank. I mean, because you think, oh, 1 a.m. somebody do it, but that's not a prank. That got a lot of people sick. That's not okay.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and it sort of comes on the heels of a lot of harassment at cons, and I just leave people at cons alone.
Let them enjoy the con. Okay, yeah, it's not normal. It's not conventional, rather. But is it hurting you if they enjoy this?
Yeah.
It's not hurting me. Just let them enjoy it.
As long as they aren't hurting anybody else, just let them have their thing.
I talked recently with somebody, because I do voiceovers for some of the My Little Pony trailers, and they're BronyCons, and same thing, people stand outside and harass them. And you're like, look, they like My Little Pony, who cares? Leave them alone.
And on the concept of harassment at cons, we have another recent story. This comes from Pat Broderick, he's recently come back. He's a comic artist, but he's come back into the limelight, and he has said some things about what he feels about cosplayers. Today, heads up, if you're a cosplay personality, please don't send me a friend request. If you're a convention promoter and you're building your show around cosplay events and mega multiple media guests, don't invite me. You bring nothing of value to the shows. And if you're a promoter pushing cosplay as your main attraction, you're not helping the industry or comics market. Thank you. You know, there have been a lot of people jumping on that bandwagon. Raymond Louie, owner of the New York-based Muteki Sales, recently kicked out a man from his booth who said he was interested in dressing as Doctor Strange not because of the comics, but because he's excited about the upcoming movie. This is crazy. I mean, we're getting back to this, you're not a real nerd, or you don't get to enjoy this thing that I've decided is my identity.
I actually have a few pictures. I have cosplayed. I think we all have,
Oh, yeah.
as a matter of fact. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like when you are cosplaying, I don't cosplay particularly to sell pictures or to do...
PSG costumes.
It's to celebrate the thing that I like.
Yeah, and actually, you know, it's funny because that's
Doctor
so
Who?
cool.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I actually recently,
I love it.
That's so cool. Spoke to Michael Uslan, who is, if you guys don't know, just look him up because he's pretty much the reason we have Batman movies. But he was talking about the first Comic-Con in San Diego that he went to, the very, very first one. And he said that when they were planning it, they said, why don't we have everybody come in costume? So this has been going on since the very first Comic-Con. And every Halloween for many, many years.
Right.
And plus the amount of skill that goes into making costumes, to doing makeup, hair, whether you make it yourself or you commission someone else to do it. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. And why is expanding fandom in any way a bad thing?
You know, having been to a number of these conventions, having cosplayed myself, and knowing a number of these top level, the top 1% of cosplayers who actually sell prints and do things like that, here's the thing. Their popularity doesn't affect or detract from yours. If Jessica Negri, a pro cosplayer, has a long line, that's not going to be detracting from the line that I may have at my booth. Your popularity doesn't depend on somebody else's popularity. It depends on your relevance.
Everyone must be unpopular for me to be popular.
What have you done lately? That is the question, and that's what will bring people to your booth.
If people are brought in because they want to see a famous cosplayer or they want to cosplay themselves, they're more likely to walk by your booth, which means they're more likely to buy your stuff. Not after what you said, but in theory.
Yeah,
Well, I think that adds to the divisiveness, if there is one, like saying these people shouldn't be allowed and they are not involved with this, and it's not drawing attention to you if you do this, or maybe the sales you would desire.
Yeah, I mean, if you are a convention goer, and let's say that you came to this convention to see a cosplayer, It takes a lot. It costs money. It's your time. Once you're there, you're not just going to go see this cosplayer, get a signature, and leave.
Yeah.
Most likely, most normal people will stay at a con and just walk around a little bit. And this is an opportunity. I mean, promoters have to continue to change things, to evolve in order to stay relevant. They'll bring in cosplayers, they'll bring in media guests, they'll bring in people who will bring people in the door. And those people are the people who will come to your booth, who will casually walk by and see your art and say, wow, that's cool.
I've done that.
Yep.
I've discovered Artist Alley people that I had never heard of before just because I was wandering around. I was looking for Kate Beaton, but then I found all these other people who I had never seen before. I've bought some cool things for my living room. Yeah. It was great.
I buy all the
rich
things.
Experience.
All of the things.
Maybe too many things.
Oh, yes, my house is full of all the things. But yeah, and I think that also if you're going against someone else in fandom, not helping. Yeah. Not helping. Just like, you know, if we were saying like, oh, furry conventions totally suck. And all, why? Because it doesn't, like you said, they're not hurting me. I don't, you know, I'm not going to attend that convention, but who the hell cares? So you don't like cosplayers? Suck it up. Suck it up.
It's happening. So audience, what do you think? There has been a lot of hate expressed or maybe distaste. Our general response to that is it's
Suck it
happening. Suck it up. Don't worry about other people. You do you, boo. What do you think? Let us know below in the comments and please subscribe for more.